What do you do if someone cheats on you?
Well, and some side hoe comes over and just kisses him.
How to know if you're the toxic one.
It's not you, honey.
Don't do it. It's terrible.
If you do it, you're a scumbag.
Yeah, you're trash.
Find someone else. But that's that on that.
We back for part 6 for girl talk. Oh wait, we didn't say hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, it's Ken.
It's Ken.
And we're back. We're just gonna get right into the question.
Girl talk, baby, girl talk.
Okay. What do you do if someone cheats on you? We both
Well,
may or may not experience this.
Sometimes, personally, if I... You don't possess. That's what you do. Personally, for me, cheating is 100% a deal breaker.
Definitely.
Because
Yes.
I think trust is so important in a relationship, and
Yes.
I really don't think I would trust you after that. The reason why I came up with this question is because what if you're at a party, you're with your mans, and some side hoe comes over and just kisses him? If I saw it and
Knew the
knew
situation.
the situation,
That she grabbed him.
obviously I'd be a little
okay,
upset with
yeah.
it, but I'd know like it wasn't him going after it. So I wouldn't consider that cheating because I knew the intentions, but I also, if I wasn't there and that's what was told to me, I would be sus. Because I would assume that you shouldn't put yourself in that position, but I also know people do bad things, people get taken advantage of,
Yeah.
and sometimes in the moment, especially from the girl's perspective, like it can be scary to say no. I don't know. I'm not here to judge what happens, but overall I would still say it's a no. It's your choice to do what you want. I have seen too many girls stay in relationships where guys have cheated, and it hurts.
Don't do it. It's terrible.
And honestly, vice versa. So
Yeah.
just
No.
know it's a trust issue, and if you do it, you're a scumbag.
Yeah, you're trash.
That's that on that.
Yep.
What are things that girls do that can be viewed as turn-offs for guys?
I think when girls try to act stupid and play like they're dumb, I don't think guys like that. Well, I know guys have said, at least guys I know have said they don't like that. I think girls that try way too hard, I think guys don't really like that either. I think it's why they don't like that. That's not true. Maybe it's just the guys that I know, but I feel like less is more, you know?
Okay, that's a good answer.
Signs that someone is toxic / how to know if you're the toxic one.
I was gonna ask you this one next. I don't love the phrase toxic, but if
Yeah.
they bring you down, if they don't make you feel like your best self, I would overall say like that's a general flag that's like maybe they are the best person to have in your life in whatever capacity that be, or maybe move them from like close to like acquaintance. They should be lifting you up, they should be boosting you, they should be supporting you. I think that's like from the outsider looking at the friendship. But then to know you're the toxic one, if it starts to affect you personally and you start to develop these unhealthy habits, I have definitely, and like unashamedly, I will say I've definitely been the toxic one in certain friendships and relationships. I think it stems from insecurity, and you, at least for me personally, I start to feel like things are changing and try to hold on to it and then overcompensate and become annoying. You get that clingy tendency, and it's honestly unattractive for the person to watch you change. And even though you might be watching them change into a douchebag, at least they're not screwing up your mental health and their mental health at the same time. I think that's about as short as I can make that.
I agree with all of that.
And even though like you don't want to be the toxic one, I think it's okay to admit you are or have been and are wanting to change.
I was gonna say you can only
If you
improve
don't
and
acknowledge
grow.
it, I think
Then that's the problem.
We all feel insecure sometimes. How do you overcome that?
I was gonna ask you that one next. I just feel like you have to realize that, at least for the things you can't change, that you might be insecure about, you're you for a reason, and you kind of just have to come to terms with that and like accept it. I know that's easier said than done, but for the things you can't change, there really is nothing you can do except for realize that we're all unique and different, and especially when it comes to like comparing yourself to other people, no one's better or worse than you, and you only see people's best selves on the internet. So when it comes to that type of stuff, it's like no one's perfect, and some things you just can't change by yourself, and you just have to accept it and realize that that's who you are and that's you and that you're great. But as far as things you can change, I don't have an example, but I feel like you just have to do your best to improve on those things. And I mean, you're allowed to have insecurities. That's normal. Everyone has insecurities.
Yeah.
Signs that they aren't interested in you. Drop us the knowledge.
What knowledge do I have on this one? A lot. I think this one's obvious, but I think sometimes girls think guys do this because they like them. If guys talk about other girls or like other options, it's not you, honey.
Yeah.
If it seems kind of hard to make plans or they're not eager to do things, they probably aren't interested in you romantically or sometimes even friendship, to be honest. If they don't seem present when you're hanging out, like they're on their phone or just you could tell they would kind of rather be anywhere else, I think those are good signs. I think we need to break the stigmatism of like the people you date or like you have to be best friends with on Snapchat and other social medias. You have to comment on all their stuff. Like I think right now we look for that validation a little too much.
That's good.
Just because he Snapchats someone else all the time doesn't mean he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't strive to Snapchat him more to be at the top of that list, because maybe you Snapchat less but have more genuine conversation. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's quantity does not equal quality or interest.
Yeah.
So that's down on that.
Your answers are all way better than mine. I suck at this. This should just turn into Kenna talk, and I need to just.
That'd be a fun segment.
She's like, yeah, you're cut.
How do you deal with strict parents?
You just suck it up and deal with it because they're your parent, and at the end of the day, as far as like when you are young and living with them, like there's nothing you can really do to change it. But I feel like we all have moments where we do fight back, especially me being the younger child. I have one brother and he's older, and sometimes my parents, not trying to throw shade at you, mom or dad, but sometimes I would feel like they would be letting him do more.
Yeah.
One, he was older, so I knew that he was allowed to do more, obviously. He's 5 years older than me. But two, he was a boy, and so sometimes I'd be like, well, when Sam was my age, you let him do this and that and da-da-da. Well, one, they would either say, no, we didn't. Or two, it's like, he's a boy.
Yeah.
So like, parenting a boy and a girl is different. I don't know how to really deal with it. Actually, here's something good that I never even really did, but maybe you could try to have a conversation with them. And everyone's relationship with their parents is different, so this might not work for some people, but some people it might work to just sit down and have like an honest conversation about it and try to talk about how you can improve your relationship, or how maybe things that they're doing that make you feel bad, or things that you're doing that, I don't know, just how to overall improve it so that it's better for both of you.
As my younger feisty self, I would say rebel.
Yeah.
Because that was me. And my more mature reflective answer would be to try to think of what they're saying and why they're saying it from their perspective. Especially getting older, I see why my parents were so... One thing that they got me on was the driving.
Oh.
But it's also because of my record, and I should have been punished. And I was. And they were doing it to help me, because if I got bad things could happen. I guess try to take yourself out of your 10, 12, 13, 18-year-old body.
I know.
Because I was
so
even
hard.
18
Yeah.
and didn't understand things. But I would also say sometimes find your escape within that. I agree with Hannah's point, like you can't change your parents because a lot of times they financially support you. But I do think naturally as humans we desire that family connection and we really fight for it. So I would never tell anyone to not seek that out. But like look at the future and plan ahead and put effort to growing and getting away. And then back to your point with siblings, that try not to compare, because I have a twin and he's a boy, and even though we're the same exact age, I feel, and he even knows, we were treated different on certain topics. Yeah, just all those things.
Good stuff. Good
Rebel.
stuff. Oh my gosh. We have two more. So how do you bounce back?
Any particular bounce backing from, or just
I was just thinking like
boys?
either that or
Boys, body, mental? I would say my sarcastic but also true and funny answer would be find someone else. But I would disagree with that, because most importantly I think find what you found in that relationship in yourself. Become truly content with being alone. There is nothing wrong with being alone and being independent and being able to be like, you know, I'm not going to go out tonight and do that, or everyone's busy, I'm going to do this. But similar to what you said in the last one, surround yourself with good people, stay busy, and don't look at new opportunities as an extension of a failed relationship. go with a fresh start and a fresh heart. That was good. I had like one last thing, but clearly it's not important.
That's good. That's good.
This one is kind of similar to one I asked you before, but for people, regardless of your age, that are in long-term relationships. Got any advice for them? Because you're the queen of long-term relationships.
Yeah. Well, one, I think that a lot of people think that being in a relationship with somebody that like you're one, but no, you need to be two together, like working together to make each other better, not combining yourselves, because you need to be your own person and they need to be their own person. And I also think, and when I've been in long-term relationships, it depends on the situation, because my most recent one was long distance for some of it, but I think seeing that person literally every single day and every waking moment, if you're not like married or living together and have kids, it can be bad.
And even then,
If you're married, like I feel like you need your own stuff to do at times, but I'm no marriage expert.
That's why people go to work.
I feel like in general, I know you really love this person and want to spend as much time with them as you can, which is great. And I definitely have done that in my relationships. I think it's healthy to have time apart and have other friends, because if the relationship ends and you don't have your own life, then you're gonna be lost and confused. Having your own separate lives and stuff you're interested in and hobbies and things to do is really important. I mean, it's also great to have those things together.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like not to have stuff together, but it's also important to have your own stuff and maybe not see each other like every second of every day, because that can drain a relationship. I feel like you have to be okay with not being up each other's butts constantly.
I think that leads,
making each other better.
I thought of being okay when they want to do other stuff.
Oh, and not being
and
like
I'm going out with the boys. When
being
you
like,
guys
all right,
wanted to have a movie, like when you wanted to maybe have a movie night, you just hadn't coordinated it.
Yeah. Because then in your head you've like planned it, but it actually isn't a plan.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah.
We all have.
We all have.
I think those are all.
That was that's really good advice.
Hey, I did one thing good.
We did a lot of things good. But that's that on that.
That's all the questions for this Girl Talk. Thanks for watching. Comment below any other Girl Talk questions or
your life advice questions.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, because these are good.
True, because these are good. We'll see y'all in another vid very soon. Bye.